Welcome to Stuck Time to Improv. I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff, and I want startup businesses to be wildly successful. Our guest today is Laura Barker from Barker Business Solutions, and she is a LinkedIn expert. That's what we're going to be talking about. Thanks for coming, Laura.
Gosh, Mary, I'm so honored to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, we really need what you have to say. So let's talk about LinkedIn and what is the typical audience that this platform is used for?
That's a great question. This platform is for business owners, business people, employees working in business who are wanting to either support their company or even, people who have maybe a corporate job or a 9-to-5 job. Of course, it's not really 9 to 5 anymore, is it? But anybody who's maybe got a side hustle and wants to understand, can they use LinkedIn to promote that? LinkedIn's got over almost 900 million users now worldwide. That's a lot of people. I will guarantee almost any business owner, whether you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, small to mid-sized business, that your tribe is there. But for business development of any kind, it is the place to be. LinkedIn is where it's at.
Okay, so if you've got a good app or you've got a particular service that makes business run smoother, this is the place for you. So
Absolutely.
if you're a startup business, what's the first thing you need to do on LinkedIn?
So for startups, what is the most important thing for you to do at the very outset is to start to optimize your profile. When you set up your account, you will have a profile page. It will essentially be blank. It is up to you to fill it in. When you're filling it in, I want to suggest that before you actually start typing in anything or uploading anything to be there, plan it out, say on a Word document or a piece of paper or whatever you use these days, because you want your profile to be coherent and consistent. You want to have a consistent message. You want to know who your audience is and speak directly to them. Profile should not look like a resume, even though it has an experience section. So on the experience section, instead of thinking of it as a place where you list your jobs or your role, which you will put there, but it's important to put your services there as well. And you can actually have your main experience, say your current business, and then subsections under that where you can describe different services or offerings or consulting, whatever it is you are offering. And you can attach media there.
Oh, that's very cool. So essentially, you don't have to say what you have done. You can say what you can do. So it's skill sets. And for startups particularly, until your company is up and known, you are your company. So this profile page is really essential.
It really is, Mary. It's also your first chance to make that first impression. And I do want to advise startups, especially if you don't have a website yet, for example, because that takes time and money and all that stuff, right? LinkedIn is your website, whether you want it to be or not. So you want to get it at least, looking pretty good as quickly as possible. When people look at your profile, what do they see first? They're going to see your banner picture. So your banner picture needs to be captivating. It needs to be eye-catching. I always like to say on a banner picture, include the following. You want to have your name and your logo. And yes, your name is listed right below that. But look, if somebody's on a mobile, they see the banner picture. That's what they see. It's got to be good enough to get them to scroll, right? So you want your name and your logo, who you serve, how you serve, and how you solve. So get that banner picture rocking and rolling, but you can't get it going until you've done that planning stage, right?
Right. and have a professional headshot. And if you've got a web developer on board already, make sure this is consistent with what the website does look like or will look like.
Absolutely. You want to use your brand colors if possible.
So let's say we've got the profile picture done and they're ready to do a company page. Are there like 3 main tips to deal with a company page?
Absolutely. I have a specific recommendation for you in startup. And I did this myself. When I first created my company page, I knew I wasn't ready to engage fully with it. I wasn't ready to start posting on it. I couldn't do that. But I wanted my logo on my profile. So I was going to create it. But then for the company page itself, you want to put up a banner picture. And again, go to Canva for this. And it will say something like under construction. So if somebody happens onto your company page, like before you start inviting people to it, they will at least know, hey, something's happening here, right? It's not just silliness or what have you.
What's the best way for startups to actually get people to start following them?
I'll tell you one really good way is to start interacting with posts. So what I mean here is find posts that resonate with you, see who's commenting. You can reply to a comment, or you can just comment on the post. On that note, I want to recommend that you really try to add value with your comments. It's not enough just to say, great article or great post or love this, right? No, you really want to show people that you are actually engaged and reading the post and can think critically enough to make a comment about it. So once you start doing that, people will start noticing you. And if people reply to your comments, of course, it's a natural request to connect. And on that note, I want to say that when you are requesting someone connect with you, always leave a note, add a note to it. Because in today's LinkedIn world, it's not enough anymore just to send a connection request and hope that somebody says yes, right?
I always write a note about where we met. It was nice to have met you at Women's Prosperity Network. And then when I get the acceptance, I always send a message saying,
always.
it's nice to meet you. I would love to know more about your company, whatever. But you never sell in a message.
Never.
You just keep the interaction going, right?
Yeah, so I do a whole training on never selling on LinkedIn.
Last question, Laura. How much time should people be spending on LinkedIn?
Oh, well, that is a great question. And it really is up to, the individual, right? But it needs to be consistent. So if you have a half an hour a week to devote to LinkedIn, just do that. Block it off on your calendar and devote half an hour to LinkedIn. And, if your profile is optimized, there are some ways that you can engage with people that really you can get appointments booked on your calendar. And of course, it's at those one-to-one appointments where we do sell. Right. But you can do that in about 20, 30 minutes a day and have a full calendar.
Thanks again, Laura Barker from Barker Business Solutions. Do you have any parting thoughts for our guests?
I do, because I didn't say this earlier, and I just feel like I need to throw this in. When you're developing that profile, the about section is not about you, okay? It is about your ideal clients, and you want that the first 4 lines to be compelling enough that people will click on see more. So especially for startups, I created a profile guide called 3 Secrets to Highly Effective LinkedIn Profiles. So I would love for anyone who wants to know how to get started on your profile. This includes everything from your, banner to your tagline to your headline, the whole 9 yards. So it's a great way to get started with the basics.
Great.
And they can get that at barkerbusinesssolutions.com.
Thanks again. Well, this is Mary Scott with Business Riff. I want startups to be wildly successful. So book a synergy call with me at businessriff.com and join us again for Stuck Time to Improv.